What's up, everyone? Peti Kish here, and today I'm going to be talking about this new Resident Evil live-action reboot movie they're doing.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know about this one, guys, but that's why we're going to read into this. VG247 has this article up here, and it says, "Here we go again. Resident Evil is getting another movie reboot. And it might just have the perfect director for it too. The film currently part of a bidding war between studios." First thoughts from just reading the title of this article. We're going to be reading the whole thing, but my first thoughts are I am very cautious, concerned, as well as burnt out. As a Resident Evil fan, the movies in live action have been horrible. They have nothing to do with the Resident Evil games at all. It's not even a faithful adaptation. It's just all over the place. No matter if it's the Paul Anderson, the Mila Jovovich ones, those were not good. I could see 1 and 2 being mediocre at best, but they're not good at all. None of those are really good. And then you had Welcome to Raccoon City, which was the second reboot. And it wasn't good at all. It was really bad. It had potential, but it was just convoluted. It was just crazy and rushed. A lot of stuff was going on. And then you had the Netflix one, which I did not watch and I didn't want to watch because I don't care about that one. It looked like ass. I just couldn't watch that one at all. I just skipped that one. Completely, I skipped it. And then there was the CGI movies. In the beginning, I thought they were okay at best, but they weren't much to talk about there either. They were subpar at most. They're more fan servicey, I would say. Takes away from Resident Evil once again. It was more action orientated, just like the Paul Anderson movies were. And that's where it stopped with a lot of the movies. The best one I've seen, and it's a fan movie on YouTube that you can watch right now, The Keeper's Diary, A Biohazard Story. Now, if you want to see a good Resident Evil, just a little snippet of what it could be, if there was like a series or movie, you watch that. That's the best adaptation of Resident Evil you can get, I think personally. And that's a fan one. But it seems like we're getting this one now. And we're going to read into this because I am interested what is going on with this. Could they actually learn from their mistakes and actually listen and look at the source material and make a great Resident Evil movie finally? We don't know. So get your Jill sandwiches out and let's see what this is all about. Before we continue with this article, guys, if you enjoy this video, please leave a like, share, sub, follow on this channel for more pulp culture, entertainment, movies, and gaming on here. Resident Evil is turning live action once again with a new reboot. So now comes the question of whether it can escape its campy but mediocre past. The Resident Evil series is obviously an immensely popular one. Enough so that it's hard plenty of live action adaptations over the years. Some better than others. None of them all that great. A lot of the films have been helmed by Paul W.S. Anderson, but the most recent one in 2021's Welcome to Raccoon City, directed by Johannes Roberts, was a big old box office flop. Since then, there was the 2022 Netflix series simply titled Resident Evil, but for the most part, it's been pretty quiet on the live action adaptation front. Except now, according to The Hollywood Reporter, a reboot is on the way for the film side of things, with Barbarian director Zach Kreger taking over the director's chair this time around. We have the director, Zach Kreger. I haven't seen this movie Barbarian, but he is he's going to be the director now. And what I've heard about this guy is he's like a new upcoming director, and people that watched Barbarian said it was actually pretty decent. It was pretty good. It was a good horror comedy. Now the question is, okay, the horror is good, but the comedy aspect. Okay. Resident Evil has comedy in it. We know that for sure. They have the one-liners. They have some little banter between characters. They have that, but it's not as big, I would say. The comedy is more slight, a little bit campy sometimes, but it can't be full-blown hysterical in some way. It could be just a little nudge here, nudge there, a little campy here and there at times. It's more of an thriller, horror element, atmospheric, character driven, a lot of like plot elements, stories, a lot of betrayal. That's why I think this would be better in TV show kind of like series than a movie element. But I think it still could be done in a movie. I don't want constant just jump scares after jump scares after jump scares. I just want it to be eerie, suspenseful, give you that vibe like the games did in 1996. I want that. Sort of like George Romero's movie would be cool because, as you know, he made a commercial for Resident Evil 2 back in the day, and there were scripts about him actually making a Resident Evil movie, but it never happened. So I think going back to that kind of old school zombies would be interesting. I would love it to be practical effects, not much CGI, but if you have to do CGI like the Hunters, I would do it sort of like what The Keeper's Diary, that fan movie, did for the Hunter. That looked pretty decent. Right now, various studios are apparently engaged in a bidding war for the reboot, with 4 studios in total trying to edge each other out. Warner Bros. And Netflix supposedly among them. The film will be produced by Constantine Film, which has held the film and TV rights to the series since the late 90s, and they'll be doing it alongside PlayStation Productions. The scope will be along the lines of more recent big game adaptations like Uncharted and the upcoming Horizon Zero Dawn movie, rather than something a bit cheaper like the aforementioned Welcome to Raccoon City. Jay Hayden, best known for his work on John Wick Chapter 4 and Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, is reportedly set to co-write the new adaptation too. Okay, so that is very interesting, that one too. Those are pretty decent movies, not too bad. Good movies here. This has potential. I am very interested now about what's going on here. Kreger is a pretty good name to have attached to a series like Resident Evil. Barbarian grossed $45 million on only an estimated $4 million budget and reviewed positively too. An impressive treat for such a small film. It's fun and a bit silly in places too, which is exactly what Resident Evil could do with, considering we're still in a bidding war stages. I imagine we won't see this one for a while, so you just have to hope that Capcom has a new game announced coming soon. And that's it for the article. Okay. Yeah, so, you know, the rumors out there, Capcom, they're doing Resident Evil 9, of course, as well as the rumors out there that Resident Evil 0 Remake is in production and it should be coming out soon. Maybe exclusive to the Switch, I've heard. We don't really know exactly the details. We just know that Resident Evil 9's coming for sure, and then Resident Evil 0 as a side thing, maybe, as well as Code Veronica on the side as well. And then I don't know what they're gonna do, because there was rumors about Resident Evil 0. The same people did Welcome to Raccoon City. They're doing a Resident Evil prequel to that with 0. I don't know if that got scrapped. It might have. There was rumors out there. Resident Evil 1 would be a perfect indicator, a perfect start for a reboot, a 1-to-1 start. Make it in 1996 with the mansion incident through that whole game. Straight up, just do that. I said this on Twitter/X. I believe it when I see an actual faithful live-action movie in the spirit of Resident Evil games. Anything would be better than what we had for so many years with the live-action flops and the CGI subpar at best entertainment. Yes, and I mean that. We've seen a lot of these video game adaptations into movies or TV shows doing pretty well now, pretty successful. We saw that with the Sonic movie. We saw that with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Last of Us TV series, as well as Fallout. If they actually want to keep fans to go to the movie theaters and watch this movie, you would have to do a lot of research and understand what you're doing and get it from the real source material. Get Capcom in there. Get the real creators of Resident Evil in there. I think that would be amazing if they did that, because you know that would make a lot of fans happy and it would feel more respected in that way. Like they did for One Piece, the live action One Piece. Hate it or not, a lot of people liked it. The One Piece live action. It's because they got the writer who did One Piece for the manga to come in there and help them direct, give permission, work on One Piece, how it's made with his own vision of what it would be if it was live action. That's what I want Resident Evil to do. But I will be still looking at this from the distance and seeing what is going to happen later down the line with this movie. So if you guys enjoy a lot of like movies, I did my own MyCast. You can check it out. I'll link it in the description below, guys. But I've done a lot of things with Resident Evil on here where I picked out actors I would like to see if it was made into a TV series. What would Resident Evil look like? So I have a lot of them. So like I have Resident Evil 1 here. That would be Resident Evil 0 and 1 in a combination. And I have a bunch of actors I picked out that you can check out, you can like. You can even put different actors. If you don't like the actor I picked, you can pick different ones. This is a little fun thing I like to do. I have one for Season 2, which would be, Resident Evil 2 and 3. We got Code Veronica for Season 3. I have it through Resident Evil 8. So I did the whole thing with Resident Evil. There is a lot to take in here. And I thought it was a little fun little, thing to do. If you guys want to, you can check it out. My cast, I'm on there. So, yeah. What do you guys think overall about this whole thing with the new Resident Evil live action reboot? Let me know in the comments below. I thank you so much, everyone, for watching this long. And if you didn't like this video, I still thank you so much for watching this long. Till the next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one all. See you soon.